it's me, Sushi. I'm back again to play Tales of Rise, and we're gonna be finding the airship next. Because we need to go to Lenegis. It's supposed to be in this direction. If I remember correctly, we have to go through here to here. Yeah. I'm right. The enemies are going to be really easy for a while because this is near the beginning, obviously.
Let's keep our eyes on the prize.
And I guess when we go up there, we'll find out more about Shion. Shoot. Shion was like, "Oh, I'm not like the rest of you. You guys don't understand my pain." She's like a teenager. It's because she made friends for the first time ever, probably.
What do you say we check back in on the ranch?
Shoot, this isn't the right way. There we go. I think Law is always going to be my favorite now. I don't think Shion can change my mind.
No choice. I'm on it. A comfortable win. Something feels odd here. Be on your guard.
So we're back in the Zion mine tunnels. Who would have thought we'd be going through this place again? This is where you and I first fought together.
And also the first time we touched, as I recall.
Bro, that's awkward.
Wait, really?
Yes, really.
The first time we touched? Oh man. It's so embarrassing. Shoot, wrong way. Did I really have like this few enemies to fight back then? I don't know. I'd have to go back to the VODs, I guess.
A comfortable win.
Wait, I went the wrong direction. Okay, next right. I sometimes feel like a sports commentator. And they take a dramatic right.
So this path is supposed to take us out to Berg Volcano?
They're going towards the goal! They're going towards the
Don't
goal!
get so paranoid you let a rock fall on your head, Law.
And they've reached it! They've reached the goal!
So hot.
Well, yeah. We've reached the inner portion of Berg Volcano.
Yeah,
we need
Rainbow.
to find that starship. And fast.
Okay, I'll go right. Yeah, see now it's at a higher level.
Let's dispose of the trash.
This one's mine. Confiscated. Radiant, here.
I'll run you through!
Glacial
It's a
Spear.
duel beyond evil.
Oops, that was not right.
Got fire!
Double set.
There we go.
This one's got your name on it.
Action to action!
Bring it on! Eat that! I'll run you through! Take that! Burn in hell! Excited! I plan the whole field! Eat this! You're mine! Back into the fray! Get toasty! Burn strike! Right, next one! Already on! I'm on it! I'll run you through! Kizara, go for it! Prepare to crumble!
This should make for some good weapon crafting material.
Nice, nice. That's where I came from. That's where I came from.
Out of our way! I'm on it! I'll hit you! Eat this! You have to aim for the bright area on their back!
Pesky airborne scoundrels.
Sounds
Yeah,
like a job for
pesky
your
airborne
pursuit.
scoundrels.
That's what my
Aren't I the only one attacking the pesky airborne scoundrels?
Leave it to you.
Get down here! Why is it so high up? Oh, there you go.
Illuminate the dark! This one's mine!
It's almost too strong.
Split it open!
Be my guest.
You made quick work of it!
Want me to pick up your slack then?
Just pointing it out!
I'll be careful not to overdo it.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, in the groove! By the power of water! Back into the fray! Here, let me help!
Burn in hell.
Oh my goodness.
I'll smash you.
Shining supernova! Get to the rim!
No further.
Get on it! Astral energy! Full throttle! A flawless victory!
Coming through. Ha! No. Scarlet Inferno.
I'll heal you all!
Sword Rain Alpha. I'll run you through.
Healing circle!
I don't know what I'd do without you.
Perhaps now isn't the time?
I really don't.
Astral energy! Full throttle!
Yes.
Over so soon?
Pathetic enemy.
That equipment should come in handy.
Eh.
Huh.
Well, there's no way to climb that. So it seems. Allow me to step in. Wait, you're not thinking of trying to vault over with your rod, are you? Well, I hadn't even thought that. In any case, stand back, I'll handle this.
An opponent like this should be easy.
Where are you going? Radiant Radiant Orb! Dance to the wind! Air thrust!
If it curls up, time to get out of the way.
In here! This way! Glad you have your easy.
I'll stop it! I'll show you how useful I can be!
My astral illuminate the dark!
Eat this! You picked the wrong fight.
Do you require help?
I owe you one. Finish it!
Alphen! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished. First strike!
You're really, really strong, Alphen!
I'm just trying to do the best I can.
Still, it's reassuring to have you around. Impressive as always.
Where I hoped I wasn't too.
Oh my gosh, I hit that!
Even better than ever.
Shut up, I hit that!
Leon actually looked flustered.
Marching over!
Wind astral energy! Now!
Here. Ah, you a snake, you're so fast now.
I think I'm getting stronger.
Thanks for coming. I've only been streaming for 10 minutes. You're so fast.
You can make plants grow instantly? What if we use this for fruits and vegetables?
I'd rather not be our party's fertilizer, thank you very much.
No, be our fertilizer, please. Have you been doing well? I mean, it's only been like one day.
Go no further.
First strike! You're mine!
Shoot. Or whatever. Don't hurt me. Ah!
I'm flying crazy. Why can't they just sit still?
Sion, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done. Air thrust.
I'll run you through!
Mega ray.
First strike!
You require a
Sword
hand.
Lane Alpha!
The enemy wields odds too.
We'll soon see about that.
This one's mine!
I never miss.
Let's just kill this dude.
Corruption.
Sword Lane Alpha!
Oh, nice.
Throw it away!
I procrastinate everything, therefore I always have things to do.
Flawless victory.
Or like, I actually,
Now I'm real
the
mad.
things that I'm working on right now are kind of time consuming. So technically it's not because I'm procrastinating. It's just because it'll take a really long time.
This ends now.
Consider yourself finished!
You're already in bed? Wow. And it's 10 for you, right?
Check out these biceps. Pretty glorious, right?
Why are guys so obsessed with their muscles?
Because these puppies have yet to let me down.
Yeah, I thought
It'll
so.
be a breeze. Get in, get out.
No further! Sword Lane Alpha!
Eat this! That freaking does it!
Their hide as thick as armor.
Eat this!
Sonic Sword!
Try this! Now I'm on it!
Looks like you came to my rescue again.
You need to be careful. Easily be faced with a blazing sword
Just as well I'm here to stop.
Yeah, see, I'm crocheting something, and there's like a cardigan, so it's gonna take quite a while, so I can't say it's being procrastinated. And then, oh, and I was also reading a book, but I'm trying to read it in Japanese, so it's gonna take freaking forever to finish. I know I'm old. What the heck? I couldn't tell, because like, you're on the internet. I don't know what to say. Because like, my parents usually don't know stuff because they're older. They do spend some time on Facebook, and that's like it. But I guess Facebook is the old person's right now.
This ends now.
Consider yourself finished!
Whenever people like don't know the slang, you can tell they're old. But if you spend time on Twitch, you probably know the slang. Like, I don't know, I assume.
Consider yourself finished! This could be useful.
My face is starting to sting. And my throat feels super parched.
Here, have some water. Just make sure you don't drink too much.
Thanks.
You want some too, Xion? Oh, wait. You're hungry more than anything, aren't you?
I'm fine, thank you very much.
Okay, fine. She was actually polite with that time though. I use Facebook and hate Twitter. I'm an old man. I have a Twitter account, but I don't actually use it at all. I was thinking of making one for this, but that's it. So that I can actually so that people actually know if I'm streaming. Or like when I'll be streaming. I don't really use Facebook. I use Discord, and that's mostly it. Oh, I use Tumblr, but people who use Tumblr are weird, so I don't want to tell anyone that.
Die! Consuming wildfire! Glacial Pierce the evil! Illuminate the center! Where are you going?
Oh, yeah, I also use Twitter to follow some voice actors, but like, I guess it's not effective since I never look at it. Oh, I follow Takashi Rie. I think that's it. I follow some other stuff, but I think they're manga artists.
I've been doing really great lately.
But Takashi Rie is my favorite, I think. It's been a while. But hey, she did Oshinoko. Oh, you don't? Okay, she did Megumin in Konosuba, and she did Amelia in Re:Zero. And if you've watched Oshinoko, because everyone freaked out about it, she did Hoshino Ai, and I don't know if you know what happens in in Oshinoko, so I can't say anything. But she really studied up for the role, apparently.
We are freaking invincible!
Alvin and the others truly are strong. What about me?
All good things come to an end. Super swallow dead! I'll run you through!
Annihilation!
Here I come!
Shoot, ow.
I'm on it!
That hurt.
Take this!
That hurt my soul.
Here, where are you going?
I'm on it! I'll end you!
Here's the healing
Dead!
Will this help?
Double demon fire!
Now, go for it!
Laura Hope?
Here's a
Oh,
healing arm.
amazing. Oh,
Double demon fang! Destruction!
that's so cool.
I'll run you through! Here I come! I'm on it! Here I come! Lunar Rondo!
Oh my goodness.
Get toasty!
Bird strike!
Yeah, she voiced.
There's
You're
more
right.
where that came from.
Is English your second language? I love languages. Okay. Go fast. Wait, oh shoot, what? I came back here? Okay, oops. Ouch. Oh, from Chile, nice. I took Spanish in high school, but I probably don't remember it well enough to speak it that well. But I have a lot of Brazilian friends, so I was trying to learn some Portuguese. Which, like, they're pretty similar, but...
This will be a delicious piece of cake.
This one's mine!
How's this?
Armor won't save you!
Thunder field!
Take this! Megasonic
Raging
thrust!
Cascade!
Dragon Swarm!
Sleep now.
Try on it! Duck it!
Here's the healing
Triple
arm.
blade! I'll end you!
Here.
Double
I'll be
demon fang!
saving this one.
Destruction strike!
Steering wheel! Reload! Alright, will this help?
Shockwave strike! Sonic on it! I'll rip it
Now,
like
this
it!
one's mine.
Ah!
Where are you going?
I didn't get that one.
Double demon fang!
Kizara, go for it!
¿Dónde está la biblioteca? No aquí.
This one's mine! I'll run you through!
I'm out of ammo.
That's enough!
Back into the
Rising
fight.
strike!
I'll end you. Gemini offline. Now, very well. Astral energy. Full throttle. Go!
Together, that wasn't even a problem.
Oh, shoot. I didn't even realize I was
This will
there.
be a delicious piece of cake.
Take this!
I'll end you! Eat this! I'll end you! Eat this! What an astral energy! Raging Tornado Alpha! First strike! Radiant Projectile! Super Swallow Day! I'll run you through! Here I come! Dragon Form! I'm on it! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished.
Bedazzled. No, I don't know that one.
With your flames and my technique,
We're stronger together than we are apart.
Callous. Calcified. Calaglia.
What kind of poem is that?
A sparse one.
Oh, I came from here, didn't I? Wait, shoot. Wait, no, I didn't. Never mind.
It's crazy to see rocks melt before our eyes.
Watch where you're going, everyone. If you fall, there will be nothing left of you.
Exactly. So don't try anything funny. Especially you, Law. No
Yeah,
pushing
Law.
anyone. Not even as a joke.
I didn't know you had that sort of trick up your sleeve, Dorleen. I would have figured rocks and plants would be too different for you to handle both.
Not necessarily. Both of them contain Earth astral energy.
Yeah, that's good. Oh my gosh. Am I at the boss fight already? Oh my goodness. I'm saving, I'm saving, I'm saving.
What the hell is that thing?
Have you
Probably that monster
picked your
Nath warned
next
us about, if I
game?
had to guess.
Do you think this might have been where one of those lights that shot out
Yeah,
of the
I
wedge
do have other
landed?
games to play after this.
But why this location? If the purpose of the wedge is to harvest Dana's astral energy.
We can figure that out later. If that thing gets into town, it's going to cause chaos. We need to take it down and move on. Let's go!
I was thinking of like playing Tales of Symphonia, but I was like, maybe I should play a different game before that.
This one's tough, but we have no choice.
Let me know if you need healing.
Shoot.
Here it comes! Focus!
On your toes, everyone.
I could play.
Ready and raring.
How do I fight this
Suddenly
thing?
turning tail doesn't seem so ridiculous.
Why? Are you scared?
Me? Are you?
Do you even have
one's,
to
no
ask?
one's
Of
attacking.
course I'm scared.
I could play Valhalla.
It's summoning Zoogles?
Take care of them while keeping an eye on it.
I think I might, honestly. Do you know Valhalla?
I can carve through armor.
This one's mine.
It's like a game where you're working at a bar, and I think it's interesting because of the people that come to the bar. I haven't played it before, but I just know that about it.
In a bind.
Alphin's dead? Shoot.
I'm on it. I'll stop its charge.
Thanks, Kisara.
You're done. First strike. Take this. I'll run you through. Soda.
One more time.
Eat this. Ready and ready.
There you go. Don't let up.
Pierce through.
Air thrust. Sweet mouth.
Eat this.
Handy. Will this help?
Swallow blade.
Hit.
Eat that.
I don't know what I can do about it.
Perhaps now isn't the time?
I really don't.
Sweet mouth.
I'm on it.
Let's get you on that.
Sword Alpha.
Where are you going?
Blew away.
Back into the illuminate.
Oh, ouch.
Come here I go.
Take this.
I'll end you.
I'm on it. Explosive ring.
Illuminate the
I'll finish you here and
It looks
now.
like you got this one covered. Reload. I'm out of ammo.
Ready and away.
Annihilation.
This one's all mine. Super swallow dance. Take the blow.
Illuminate the
one's
dark.
mine.
Now. Alphen. This ends now.
Consider yourself finished.
I'll heal you all. Stars of light. Rain down if you
I think it's mostly just mixing the drinks that you do in that game. I started it once, but I didn't get that far. So I'll have to start over. For this game. For the content. Do it for the content!
I never miss.
In a bind. Eat dirt.
Here, let me help.
I'm on it.
First aid.
What the heck?
Here, let me help.
Ow. That hurt.
Armor won't save. Now I'm in the groove. I've let you all down. You'll pay for that. You picked the wrong fight.
I'll bring you back from death to this.
No further. They'll pay for swallow blade. Eat this.
Into the shadow. Let the marksman handle this.
You know the glass him meme? I was gonna play the game that was from because I thought that meme was really funny. If you don't know it, just look up glass him meme on YouTube.
Here come more.
You'll just have to keep fighting.
I'm like,
Ow. Ow.
Leave the enemy's arts to me.
no complaints here.
Eat this. It's showtime. Do it. This ends now.
Consider yourself finished.
Will this help?
It took me 70 hours. Well, I'm like, what, 40 hours in? I wasn't sure how close I'd be to end, so.
No more playing nice. Get toasty.
Burn strike.
Right. Next one.
I'm on it. Already on it. Dragon Force.
Radiant Sword.
Sonic Thrust.
Back into the fray. Art expert coming through.
Strike.
Radiant
You're
Sword.
healing now.
Reload.
See, I'm out of ammo. Watch it.
Oh, ow, 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 I'm dead.
This one's mine. Tempest Swirl. I'll bring you back from death's abyss. Now, Dohalim. This one's got your name on it.
Action to action.
I'll bring you back from death's abyss.
Strike.
Here goes.
Any more of this and I'll burn out.
Here's a healing.
Not done yet.
First aid.
Oh yeah, I was also recommended this World War II game by my friend. Oh, and this, I have a long list of games to play. Shoot, Shion, you're not allowed to die.
I hope this medicine works as promised.
Will this help?
Healing circle.
I really owe you one.
Reinforcements incoming.
Not a problem.
Dragon
Not
Force.
on my watch. Art expert coming through. Radiant blood.
This one's mine.
I may have been.
I can do this all
Strike.
Shion, you're dead again? Stop doing that, Shion!
Eternal devastation! First strike! Destruction!
Eat this! Mind if I do? Here!
Eat this! I'll smash you!
Oh shoot, it's because we don't have any CP, that's why. Oh, okay.
I'll run you through! Rising water! I'm on it! I'll end you! Watch this!
Holy glimmer! Mind if I do? Healing circle!
I really owe you. Crush!
Thanks for the healing. Watch yourself, okay? Yeah.
Ow. Oh my god.
Here's a healing one more time. Don't mind if I do. Our expert coming through. Where are you going?
Holy crap, Shion. Shion, don't die. The Walking Dead here. That sounds interesting. I don't know anything about that.
Eat this! I'll end you! Dragon, I'll run you through! Take this! I'm right behind you! I'll smash you!
Now, it's over. Astral energy, full throttle! A flawless victory. Naturally. Thunder field!
You picked the wrong fight!
Oh, hey, one at a time. Where are you going?
You're mine!
Now, get toasty!
Bird strike!
I'll heal you all.
Demon Fang! Double Demon Fang!
Oh yeah,
More where that came from.
I have many friends that are trying to make me play games.
I owe you, Tion.
And one of them was making me play Fire Emblem.
Cause havoc and destruction. Very well.
So there's that too.
Full throttle!
I'll definitely check out Telltale.
Healing
Take
circle.
this.
Thanks. Just what I needed.
Why'd you heal me?
To stop you dying?
Alphen! Ouch!
There, just one more. Will this help? I'll be
Rising
stable
water.
if I do. Healing
I'm on
circle.
it! I'll run you! I can carve through armor! Rising
Eat
water!
this. Eat now. Dohalim, this one's got your name on it.
Oh yeah? I haven't played any before. A long time ago, my brother was trying to make me play Fire Emblem, and I didn't.
Serve everyone!
Ow. But now I'm playing Three Houses.
We won't surrender. We won't retreat. Not yet.
Whatever you do, just please stay safe.
Here's a healing arc.
How are we supposed to take on something so big? I'll handle it.
Alphen.
Watch and learn. That's enough!
What the heck, Alfred?
Go back down!
Oh, and Hollow Knight is really good. Ooh, Persona 5. Yeah, I remember I started that years ago, and then I didn't get past the first,
Everyone okay?
whatever it's called.
Yeah, I think so.
The first thing you steal from.
That thing scared the pants off me.
It felt like it had a different aura than other Zeugles, didn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't like the one that Almadria sicked on us either.
Its elemental
Yeah, the
astral
palaces.
energy variance was out of this world. It was like fighting a lord.
I guess it's safe to assume that if it came out of the wedge, it must have played some part in helping harvest astral energy. But what?
Perhaps a living spirit vessel? It's plausible, given the location. Or it may be part of a new force dispatched to regain control of Dana.
If we assume that monster was one of the 4 beams of light, we must have prevented something from taking place here.
I'd like to think so, knowing how much grief it gave us. But at least with that out of the way, we can keep moving forward now. Let's go.
so cool, Alphen. You're so cool.
I still got a ways to go.
So yeah, I think I was too busy at the time when Persona first came out, and that's why I just never got that far with it. I was busy with high school.
What do you know? Another big fire monster with nothing better to do than get in our way.
I wonder where the rest of those lights ended up landing. It looked like they were pretty scattered.
Well, whatever they're after, let's just hope none of them are anywhere near a city. An ambush on civilians is the last thing we need.
Well, no rest for the wicked, right? Though with 1 down and 3 to go, it sounds like our headache is just beginning.
I thought you liked the opportunity to flex your muscles.
Against those things? It's not like I have a death wish. Besides, we've already got our hands full saving the world. Dying stupidly won't be much help to the cause.
Wow, he has
Yeah,
common
I guess
sense.
I can't argue with that logic. Sorry.
Hey, is that it over there?
What? Oh! That is it. But first, first let me talk to this random guy over here. We find Ignis Scroll. I have it. Do I need to unequip it to use it for this? Maybe. Whatever.
Alphen?
Did you remember something?
Yeah, Alphen.
No, but I have seen this starship before.
Oh yeah, Alphen? What did you see, Alphen?
This is it. This is the ship I traveled in when I escaped from Lenegis.
Three centuries later, and it's no worse for wear. I'll take a look at the internals.
That's crazy.
Damn! I'm amazed it still works at all after all this time.
The past meets the present. I really am from a different time and place.
Surprise! Yeah, we know.
Yeah. But you've got us now, Alphen.
Not only that, but you've helped out so many people, too.
Yeah, Alphen.
Law's right. Rinwell too. You're one of us now. No more carrying the weight of history on your shoulders. You're a part of this world.
Right. Thanks, you guys.
How's it look?
It should fly. All internal systems seem to be operating. However,
Nice.
considering how long it's remained inactive, I suspect it will take some time before it's ready for takeoff.
How much time are we talking here?
Starship mechanics are not what I'd call my forte, so I'd rather not hazard a guess.
So we've just got to sit around here and wait? I'm terrible at waiting.
That's because you're a child. Oh, but how about we use this time to prepare and gather supplies for the trip?
Good idea. Who knows when we'll be back from Lenegis once we leave? We should prepare ourselves for every possible scenario before we go.
Let's try not to stay away too long. I'd hate for anything to happen to the place while we're gone.
Either we race ahead, or we take due precaution to ensure we have no regrets. I shall leave it up to you as to how we proceed, Alphen.
Yeah, pressure.
Works for me.
And then Sion's thinking, no one understands me. I'm not like you people.
What is?
All this. When we first started this thing,
Sorry.
did you ever imagine we'd be going to Lenegus? After all, this is the sort of thing I was rebelling against when I ran away from home, right?
I'm sure Zephyr would be proud if he knew what his son was doing right now.
And a little shocked, too.
Aww.
We're defying the order of things that have persisted for 300 years. Deep down, I knew our journey would lead to confronting Lenegus.
Yeah, you maybe, but you're a Renan. The rest of us can barely even picture what it means to leave Dana.
No offense to Shion and Dohalim, but it's worth remembering we're heading into enemy territory.
Yeah.
No
Come on,
offense
guys.
taken. And this is no picnic for me either.
Remember, our aim is to ensure that both Lenegus and the Renan homeworld leave Dana alone for good. I don't think we'll be able to avoid a fight.
Is there no way we can talk them into leaving us alone?
The people of Lenegus?
Sure. I mean, we found a way to make it work with Shion and Dohalim, right?
Yeah.
And it's
but-
not just us. If places like Menancia can do it, then why can't we?
Because there are still many of my kind who believe it was right and natural that Rena reigns over Dana. There are those on Lenegus who have never stepped foot on Dana. I doubt whether they'd even listen to Danans.
Look, none of us want to fight. But these are the same people who fired that wedge down on Dana. What happens next is on them.
Right. We're not going to sit back and wait for them to oppress us again.
Yeah.
Right.
Don't forget, there's also a good chance the Red Woman is somewhere on Lenegus. And wherever she is, we should find the Renaissance too.
That's right. If we can take it back, then Shion can finally get rid of her thorns.
Yeah.
Shion?
Sion, hello.
Yeah.
Guys, you have to put the fire out, otherwise you might make a wildfire. Stares at Alberta. Oh no!
Where? Shion?
Oh no,
Where'd
my
Shion
buddy.
go? How could she just go off on her own?
How dare she? I need to find her and have a heart-to-heart moment with her. We need to kiss.
Shion. Shion!
What?
It's your thorns? But why?
What?
You okay? Just now, it looked like you used your maiden powers to suppress your thorns. You can really do that?
What?
Stay out of my way.
What are you talking about? What are you doing?
Wait a second. Are you planning to go alone?
Shut up!
Why would you do this?
I told you to shut up!
Oh my gosh, talk to me. We've been together for months. Why can't you communicate with me?
I mean it.
I refuse to let you.
I won't tell you again. Move or I'll shoot.
If that's the case, then go ahead and shoot me!
Oh my goodness. Where's everyone else? Are they still asleep? They're sleeping through this? Oh no, she loves me too much to shoot me. Oh, they're coming. Okay. If they didn't wake up from that, that would have been weird. So thanks for having some realism, game. This is intense.
Do you remember back when I was stabbed? By Volron?
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought for sure that he had killed you back there.
That wasn't the first time.
What?
The first time was when I was only a child. After that, no matter how often, I just couldn't die.
This got really dark all of a sudden.
Couldn't die. So you're immortal? How's that even...
I believe you, Shion. But tell me how is something like that possible?
My thorns. They're me, but at the same time not. They're part of me.
What?
I have no idea why. But my thorns will never let me die. At least not before I'm meant to.
Meant to?
You can't die before your death?
What?
When my thorns free themselves, it will be my death.
Oh.
I've seen it. A darkness that swallows up everything until nothing remains. It's a vision of oblivion I can't escape. I want to believe it's all just a bad dream. But no matter what I tell myself, I know it's not.
Yeah, but wait. The whole reason you needed the Renaissance was to get rid of your thorns, right?
If I burn away what's inside, then what will happen to the rest of me? Right. Either way you look at it, I'm going to die. But if I am going to die, I figure I can at least take my thorns out with me. That's what I've been after this whole time.
That's why you turned your back on your fellow Renans and chose to fight with us, isn't it? And while we've all been fighting to keep on living, you have been with us fighting desperately to die.
Dang. Okay.
That was the plan. But then I met all of you. And before I knew it, I didn't want to die anymore.
Don't lose hope yet. We'll find a way to save you. There's still time to.
I don't know about that, man.
It's pointless.
Why?
Because the darkness won't just consume me. The truth is, it will consume all of existence as well. It was only a suspicion at first. But ever since the Red Woman triggered my maiden powers, I've been more certain than ever before. It was then that I finally came to realize my powers were holding my thorns in check the entire time.
What?
But they don't anymore. Not since Lenegis. When the wedge fell. Every day, I feel the thorn's power growing stronger inside of me. Pretty soon, I won't be able to hold them back anymore. And when that happens,
They will consume all existence.
That's why you wanted to leave by yourself. You planned to find the Renis Alma on your own and sacrifice yourself to stop the thorns.
But that's... too much. It's way too much. When this all began, I didn't care what happened to me or anyone else. And what happened to the Renans or the Danans didn't matter to me at all. I know I have to die, but I don't want to. Not now that I have this.
Aww.
I wish we had never met. Then I wouldn't have to feel this way.
Shion!
Alvin?
This is wholesome.
Dying is no better than being a slave. How can you endure this?
Alvin.
It's not fair. I don't care what anybody says. I won't let it happen. We can fight this. Fight until the end together. Isn't that what you said to me before?
Even if it should mean that it'll be the end of everything else, too?
Shion, what do you want?
Aww.
It's your decision, ultimately. But if you decide not to fight fate, I will. Even if I have to do it alone.
No, you won't be alone. I'll fight as well.
Count me in as well. I want to be a force for good, not hate.
And me too. I meant it with all of my heart when I told you before. Neither of you are alone in this at all.
You guys...
And I, for one, don't believe this venture is without hope. Shion is the descendant of a maiden from 300 years ago. Given the circumstances, it seems very likely that those events have some connection to her thorns. The true nature of which, I imagine we will discover as we make our way to Lenegis and uncover the truth of what's unfolding here.
I take it you mean we might find a way to get rid of her thorns and she'll live?
It's certainly possible. Though I suspect the nature of the Sovereign is connected somehow.
So be it. I've already lost everything I had once. And I won't let it happen again.
Aww. Let's do this.
No matter what happens from now on, we're right here with you. All of us are. You are not alone.
You guys. You're all so stubborn.
No kiss. Do it, guys, do it! It's gonna be really painful for Alvin. That's okay.
Thank you, everyone. For right now, and a little while longer, I just want to hold on to this dream.
Kiss, kiss, kiss!
More than anything else, I want to be with all of you.
Aww.
So let's go. On to Lenegis.
The music makes the scene even better. I love this song so much. My gosh. Can't answer me.
The end of the world. It's hard to believe, isn't it?
I believe Shion is telling the truth. What about you?
As a friend, yes, I want to believe her. Everything that's happened seems to point towards some sort of great danger that's lurking ahead of us. Still, it's hard to fathom something that could usher outright doom to the world. That those really are the stakes we face.
No, I understand. Even Shion doesn't seem to know exactly what will happen to bring it all about.
We have so many pieces of the puzzle in our hands, so many clues, yet the complete picture eludes us.
So where do her thorns fit in then?
Well, I imagine they must sit at the very center of it all. You remember the voice we all heard while we were inside the wedge, don't you?
Totally. I heard it too.
Yeah, I remember. It was the will of Dana's astral energy come to life. Or that's what we all thought.
Right. And from that, we're able to hypothesize how vast concentrations of astral energy can become sentient.
Oh, so her thorns
Let's
must be
return to when
sentient?
we found Shion in Pelagian. When her thorns went wild, they contained far more astral energy than any mere Renin would normally have inside them.
So you think those thorns might be alive too? That their will is what keeps her from dying?
Must be.
But why would they want to destroy the entire world?
As for that, I really cannot say for certain. Its goals still remain a mystery. It may be a mere fluke that her maiden powers have been able to contain it thus far.
You know, I've noticed since we've met that you like figuring out riddles.
He also likes poetry.
Can you blame me?
Surprise.
When one realizes that the world they once thought to be true is but a mere facade, they can't help but seek the truth. Especially when that deception has led to others getting hurt.
Dohalim?
I imagine the remaining pieces of the puzzle that we seek rest somewhere within Lenegis. As for what the final picture will look like, who can say? I think it's best we not dwell on it too much for the time being.
Right.
Who's next? I guess I can just, do you.
How you holding up?
Who, me?
Yes, you. You took a hit from those thorns again, didn't you?
I'm so used to it.
Oh, that?
That was nothing.
Compared to what Shion's going through, you mean? Still, even if you yourself might be willing to endure that kind of pain, that doesn't mean Shion wants to have to see you get hurt by her thorns, you know?
Yeah, I know. I'll be careful.
Shion doesn't know how lucky she is to have you around, you know? Dashing in to save her at the last minute.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, very
He's a
funny.
knight in shining
I'm
armor.
being serious. You went up and held her close like you still had that mask on, and you didn't even bat an eye. She really needed that. That's what I mean when I said you saved her. Just like you did with the rest of us.
Aww.
I just want for Shion what we all have.
He's like a
The
shonen
ability to touch
protagonist.
someone without the fear of killing
Basically.
them. Those thorns have robbed her of the kind of everyday things we all take for granted. And it's not right.
You can say that again. It may be normal for us, but that doesn't make it any less special or important for her. I hope she gets what she wants. I have my own dreams, but a world without her, where she dies so we can all survive, isn't a world I want to live in.
Agreed. It's like more and more keeps getting taken from her, and I'm done with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey Law, you're awesome. Let's talk. Let's chat. Just you and I. Bros. Bros before hoes.
Did you know?
You mean about Shion?
Yeah, I didn't have the slightest idea. I mean, every once in a while I thought something seemed a little off, but I never could have imagined. It's like a completely different world was spinning around me and I couldn't even see it.
You and me both. I mean, I knew something was bothering her, but I could never quite figure out what it was.
You? But you're the one always looking out for her, aren't
Yeah,
you?
but I'm still dumb.
That's what I thought. But in reality, I didn't understand it all. What I thought was helping and being there for her was actually just driving her into a corner.
At least you figured it out in time, though, right?
Yeah, totally.
I don't think we're out of the woods yet. But yeah, you're right. We brought her back from the edge, and we're going to stop those thorns from taking her, no matter what.
Yeah, with all of us together, there's nothing we can't handle. Shion, the world, we can save everyone. And I mean it when I say we, Alfin.
Yeah, Alphen.
I know. No lone wolfing it.
Hey, you're the expert on what my dad would say. Do you think he'd pat me on the back or tell me off?
Zephyr, I don't think that he'd have that much to say, to be honest. You're your own man now, Law. And you've already made up your own mind about what you want.
I guess he couldn't say anything even if he wanted to.
Law.
Sorry. I guess those of us amongst the living have enough problems to deal with, don't we? We'll need all our strength to save Shion.
Yeah.
I'll probably end up worrying again at some point. But I guess I'll think it over more then. That okay?
Yeah, I think it is.
Cutie. Yo.
Can't sleep?
After everything we just heard, how could I?
Fair enough.
Shion's had to deal with so much on her own. Even when we were all laughing and celebrating, she just kept quiet and didn't say anything. I thought she was keeping her distance because of her thorns. That it was because she didn't want to hurt anybody by getting too close. I just figured that that was the type of person she was, you know? But it turned out to be none of that. All this time, she felt like she had to die and sacrifice herself for the greater good. But even then, she didn't think she could say anything to us about it.
I know.
She was so alone this entire time. How could I call her a friend and yet be so completely blind to everything she was going through?
I'm sure it made her happy, knowing you were there for her.
You really think so?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. If she didn't think of us as friends, I don't think she could have ever opened up to us like that. You were a good friend to her before, and you'll be an even better one now.
Yeah, I really hope so. I want to be the best I can for her. When you think about it, we were all alone in our own way. But over time, we've all found ways to let each other into our lives. I hope Shion's able to do that one day too. No, I mean, I hope she's able to do that more. Lots and lots more.
She will.
I
She
think it'd
doesn't
be
die.
really nice if we could all just be there to support each other when it really counts. And forget about our grudges and pain.
That's called
Pretty well.
friendship. I guess it depends. Depends on how close you are with your friends, I guess. Where's this freaking... Oh, here it is. Right? What? I can't interact with the thing on the map? Where am I supposed to go? Oh, there's a star. Shion, I forgot about you. This is where they kiss. I know we missed it last time, but guys, we ready?
Hey, you doing all right?
I seem to cause nothing but worry. As much as I try to look like I have things under control, everyone still worries about me.
You're not the only one.
Hey, do you remember the first time you said I was your friend?
I don't.
No? When was that? Sorry, I can't remember.
Are you joking or are you serious?
That's okay. It came so naturally to you, I'm not surprised you forgot. I was different back then. The Danans were not even people to me, and I knew I would always be alone. But in that room with Deadheim, when you called me your friend, it just shattered the wall that I'd built up around me.
Now shattered again with a
Because
kiss.
until that moment, I'd only seen you as a means to an end.
Aww.
I thought of you as a way to use the blazing sword.
Aw, she
and
thought
to
of me
obtain
as
the
a
Rena's
means to an
Alma.
end.
But after that day, one time became two. And before I knew it, you'd made a habit of calling me and Dohalim your friends. It didn't matter that we were Renans. You cared about us as you would any other people. then, everyone else started to call me their friend too. To think of me as their friend. Before then, I never even dreamed I could have that. I didn't want to die and lose you all. But I also didn't want to live if it meant you would all die in my place.
Aww.
Shion.
We love you
But then, I realized I'd only really been thinking of myself that entire time. After saying how I felt, and hearing what you all had to say, I finally understood that. Don't worry, it's okay. I'm not planning on dying anymore. I've met too many people along the way who I truly care about to give in now. So I'll fight. For Dana and for myself. I'll fight against my fate to preserve our future. And I'll win, come hell or high water. I don't know how we're going to do it, but I won't let the world end because of me.
It's going to be a long, hard road ahead, Shion. Our fight won't be over until everyone, both Danans and Renans, can finally live in peace.
Yeah.
But I swear I'll be there with you until the very end.
Thank you.
Remember what we learned back in Calaglia? There's no wall
No,
so
dear
high that we
girlfriend.
can't break it down.
Yeah,
Now that you've
I
figured
think
out
you may be
friendship,
right about that.
figure out being a girlfriend.
Everyone well rested? Then let's go. We depart for Lenegis.
Yeah.
Well, it's the moment of truth.
This lady better hold together once we're up in the air.
Law, don't say that. You're going to jinx us.
Speaking of which, Alphen, this bucket of bolts got a name?
It's called the
Name?
Alphen Express.
You know, I'm not sure she ever had one. I never really thought about it.
Well, after all the trouble we went through to find her, we should give her one, right? I was thinking something like...
Fall Knights.
What?
It means owl in the ancient tongue. Literally, the one drawn to the skies.
Nerd.
I like it. Sounds perfect for our little escapade.
Not sure I'm completely convinced, but... Well, it's as good a name as any. From now on, she'll be known as the Fall Knights.
Yay!
Okay, people. We have two goals. First, we need to get to Lenegis and make the Renans finally leave Dana alone. And then, we need to figure out the truth behind Shion's thorns and find a way to save her. Sound good?
The Shiofen.
Alright, then let's go.
The ship name. That's a good one.
You know, I can still hardly believe it.
Believe what?
I mean, just look at it. The whole of existence, crammed inside a tiny frame.
Now that you mention it, I guess you're right. It does look more like a painting than a living, breathing world.
From up here, all the struggles we've been through feel so insignificant.
Nothing like realizing how small you are to put everything into perspective.
Kinda makes the differences between the Renans and the Danans feel pretty small too, huh?
How much longer until we reach Lenegus?
There are better ways to use your time than napping.
Oh,
We should take a
thanks.
moment to familiarize ourselves with the facilities on board before arrival.
Good idea. The starship may end up serving as our base of operations once we're down there. Think you'll be all right with the controls?
You mean the one set to automatic pilot? I dare say I'll manage. I'm basically just here to supervise.
In that case, she's all yours.
You
Everything
better
okay,
not screw
Shion?
it up, man.
You seem a little different.
Different? Like in a bad way different?
No, not at all. You seem more driven lately, like you found a zest for life. It suits you.
Wow.
We'll be going to Lenegus soon.
This must feel like a homecoming of sorts to you, huh? What was life on Lenegus like back then? You know, before you came to Dana.
Let's just say, I don't have many happy memories. I've had thorns my whole life, for as long as I can remember. They called it treatment, but in truth, they were just using me as a guinea pig for their research.
You mean, they experimented on you?
That's right. All I was to them was a riddle to solve. They poked and prodded me, trying to figure out what triggered my thorns or changed the form they took. Day in and day out, every single day, one test after another. I'm still surprised they didn't try to dissect me.
Why
The
not?
look
You
they
could
gave me
die.
whenever one of them touched my skin. How could I forget it? Reeling from the pain, like I was a monster or something. Some existence, huh? A blight on any I touched. Helplessly complicit in their pain. I thought things couldn't get any worse. But then they did. I started to have nightmares, visions of the coming apocalypse. Is it any wonder I lacked a cheery disposition? Unable to so much as touch another soul. Loneliness was my best friend. Sure, I survived, but with the knowledge that one day I'd be swallowed up by oblivion. And that's when it hit me. If I was going to die, then it should mean something. If I have to sacrifice myself to save the world, so be it.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you relive that.
But I did it anyway.
No, it's fine. I'm in a much better place now.
You say it's your destiny to die so that others can live. But why not the other way around? Why shouldn't we be the ones dying to save you?
Well,
Are you crazy? Why would you sacrifice your life for...
That's exactly my point. Why should you have to give up your life just because you drew the short straw in the destiny stakes? How is that even right?
I mean, sure, but also
It's
if you
that
think
logic
of like
that's used
one
to
person
justify
instead
slavery,
of like
as if some of us were just
millions
meant to be sacrificed. This struggle was never about saving only ourselves. But that doesn't mean we have to give up our own lives to save everyone else's either. If we're doing this to protect people, if we're doing this to save the world from destruction, then that has to include saving each other as well.
A world
Yes,
free of
sir.
sacrifice. That's what you've been fighting for all along, isn't it?
Not just me. We're in this together, remember? This fight is yours too, Shion. If we're going to win, everyone has to win. There can be no room for losers in this fight. Now I see it. The true nature of our struggle.
A victory without losers. But that means that a Danon victory over Rena can't be the end. Do you think we can pull it off?
You bet we can pull it off. We have to. It's the only hope we have of things ever changing.
Yeah, you're right. No one's ever changed the future without aiming for the stars. We can do this. Together.
Guys, kiss already.
Is something wrong?
It's on
No.
autopilot.
I was merely thinking how it had been 7 years, that's all.
You mean since you became a lord and left Lenegus? I guess even someone like you can get homesick, huh?
I am as prone to sentimentality as any other. Tell me, though. You too have a history with Lenegus. A traumatic one, no less. This trip will probably mean facing up to some difficult emotions. Doesn't that frighten you?
Well, It is a place where I took the lives of countless people. I'd be lying if I said I hadn't thought about it. But I can't keep running forever. The past is what it is. There's no changing that. But the future's what we make it.
Free therapy.
I see.
It is what it is.
Dohalim?
Forgive me. I was wrong to pry. We have more pressing matters to address. Come back and speak to me when you finish looking around the ship.
See, to make yourself feel better, you just say, it is what it is. And then you don't have to have therapy.
I need something to eat.
Oh my gosh, I went through. Darn it.
Hey, Alvin, listen to this. So Law and I were just talking, and
Hey, shut up!
What's got Law all flustered?
only that he's afraid of flying, the big baby. And after all that fuss he made about naming the ship, too.
Hey, I never said I was scared. I just think it's, you know, a little unsettling how we're going to be cruising through space in a glorified tin can. That's all.
It's a starship, dummy. That's what it's supposed to do. I don't think there's anything strange about it.
Well, maybe you're the one with the problem then.
Guys. I'm no expert, but I think we can trust Renan technology. It got me to Dana in one piece, remember?
Yeah. And then you fell asleep
that's
for
a
a
good
billion
point.
years.
If you think so, Alvin, it must be okay. Don't you agree, Law?
Yeah,
Hard to
Law.
argue with that, seeing how you hitched a ride in one of these things before, Alfin. It's just wrong, okay?
No deep conversation here. Who's left? Oh, Kisara. Wow.
You okay? Feeling airsick?
Actually, now that you mention it, not at all. These starships are a remarkably smooth ride, all things considered. Nothing like being at sea, thank goodness.
Glad to hear it. That device there caught your eye, huh?
I was just wondering what it is. It looks big enough to fit a person inside of it.
It's probably
It's
where
a
I was
healing
trapped.
pod.
Oh, okay.
It fixes
never mind.
injuries and illnesses.
Forget it.
Oh, you don't say. That should definitely come in handy if any of us get injured while we're down there. Alphen? Was it something I said?
Was it something I
No,
did?
I was just thinking back to when I escaped Lennigus, that's all. What with the ceremony and losing control, I was a total mess. Naori laid me inside here.
So, you're saying you got in this thing straight after escaping? But that mean you were inside for 300 years?
Yes, it sounds crazy, I know. But don't even ask me why I stayed asleep all that time.
That's definitely quite some lie-in, all right. But still, whether you meant to or not, I sure am glad that it's this century that you finally woke up in.
What do you mean?
With the amount of fighting we've done, we would have never made it this far without you. And not only that, but Alphen, can you recall back to what it is that I said to you? Back when we left Menancia? About the dream of coexistence and needing to learn what it entailed?
Of course. That's why you came with us, right? To learn what you couldn't at home.
Even in that time, I was well aware that what I was living was a lie. But at the same time, I also felt really compelled to fulfill my brother's wishes. I'll always remember him fondly. But the coexistence we're fighting for isn't for him. It's for people now. And those still to come. The world's bigger than just Menancia. My dream is for all Danans, wherever they might be, to be free. If I've learned anything on this journey, it's that. And the one who brought me along was you, Alphen. I'll forever be grateful to you.
Well, we're not out of this forest just yet. You should probably save your thanks. At least, until we've dealt with the Red Woman.
I know. But whatever we find when we get down there, I'm through looking the other way.
Kisara.
Probably getting a little ahead of myself, huh? Let's take things one step at a time.
Okay.
Is everyone about ready? We'll soon be making preparations to land.
Before we do that, just what exactly should we expect when we get down there?
Kisara has a point. Now that I think of it, I don't know the first thing about Lenegus.
I'd like to hear more too. It's been centuries since I was last there, and they didn't exactly give me the grand tour.
Very well. First and foremost, Lenegus was the base of operations in charge of the crown contest on Dana. Of course, it also happens to be a city in its own right, complete with its own independent society. Its social structure is based on a strict hierarchy. Put simply, the strength of an individual's astral arts carries great weight.
Enough to determine someone's social rank, you mean? But astral arts are innate, right? So people's positions are fixed at birth.
They can be honed with the right training, and there are admittedly other factors at play. But yes, that's basically the gist. As a result, family lines that churn out lords and their contenders wield disproportionate influence, and those lineages are treated as nobility.
Those capable of only weak astral arts are effectively an underclass, denied the right to descend to Dana even if they wanted to.
Why would they want to, though?
Still, even the lowest rung on the Renin ladder is considered superior to being a Danon. Keep that in mind down there.
Thanks for the warning. As a lord, Dohalim must have been pretty high up in the pecking order, right? What about you, Shion?
Come on, you've seen her skill with astral arts. You really need to ask?
Fair point.
On arts alone, you're right. I'd have been sitting pretty. But you're forgetting my thorns. They weren't exactly an invitation to high society.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's refreshing to be around someone who says what they're thinking. Life's less complicated that way.
Jeez, give backhanded compliments much?
Wait a second. Are you? He is! Lost blushing!
I am not!
Of course, separating people into castes based on something arbitrary like arts is discrimination at its worst. As if such simplistic criteria could ever be a measure of someone's worth.
So this red woman, are we expecting to find her on Lenegus?
I would wager so. Lenegus is too deeply involved in all this to discard the possibility. Chances are she's also connected to the Renis Alma being stolen from us in Pelegion.
If the Renis Alma is being used to exploit Dana, we need to take it back at all costs.
That red woman's got a lot to answer for. Just as well I've got a ton of questions.
We're about to land. The descent could be a little bumpy, so brace yourselves.
If there are clues about your thorns out there, Shion, we'll find them.
Okay, finally. Finally! My eyes are dying. I probably need to get more sleep. But I don't want sleep. Sleeping is hard.
There's no one here. I wasn't expecting to welcome that, but still.
Lenegus's infrastructure is largely automated. Besides, people won't be expecting incoming traffic while the crown contest is still underway.
True. Is the
Do you think
crown
anyone
contest really
realizes
still
that we're
going
here?
on? Because I mean, we've beat
You may
everyone.
not have received a royal welcome, but I doubt our entrance went unnoticed. Don't let your guard down.
I really hope we don't have to fight anybody while we're here.
We're gonna fight people. You're wrong. You're involved.
So
We're
now
gonna do
what?
it.
We've come all this way on a hunch that this red woman is here, right? And if we're lucky, the Renis Alma too. Any idea where we should start looking?
There is an area of the city that is accessible only to the Sovereigns, known as the Forbidden Zone. That seems as good a place as any for us to start.
Forbidden? What are they hiding?
I don't know, hence my desire to find out. Fortunately, we just so happen to have a sovereign in our midst. In any case, changing the shape of a huge structure such as Lenegus would have required an immense source of power.
Then you think that source might have been the Renis Alma?
Precisely. Alphen said that he remembered the Renis Alma being used in the spirit channeling ceremony 3 centuries ago.
Yeah.
Whatever the ceremony's purpose, if preparations are underway for it to be held once more, then the Renis Alma might be in the same place as last time, possibly together with the Red Woman. Hiding something of that worth in the residential quarters would only court trouble. In which case...
It stands to reason we should be looking somewhere normally out of bounds. Is that it?
Indeed.
But it's been over 300 years since I was made a sovereign. You can't seriously think I'll be able to waltz right into the place after all this time.
I mean,
There's only one way to find out.
So I don't know.
If there's even a chance you can get us in, I say we give it a shot.
Shion's right. Who knows? We might even find a clue to her thorns while we're at it.
All right. It's not like we're swimming in leads, so let's try to track down the Forbidden Zone.
Okay.
Be on that wall lies a city full of Renins. The capital city where Shion and Dohalim used to live, no less. Who knows what we'll find on the other side?
Thinking about what could be lurking out here is giving me the heebie-jeebies.
For such a loudmouth, you sure can be a worrywart at times.
Oh, I'm sorry. How stupid of me for wanting us to stay safe.
Would you two children stop squabbling? Or do you want everyone to know we're here?
So how many Renins actually live in this place?
I couldn't tell you exactly, though not as many as you might expect. Machines and Zeugles take care of most of the city's basic functions.
There's Zeugles out here too, huh? Sounds like we can't afford to let our guard down after all.
What? Are we riding? What's happening? This is gonna give Elfin flashbacks.
What in the world?
This being Renin territory, I was prepared for a lot of things to look different. But this is a bit more than I anticipated.
Surprise!
The very foundations of the city have shifted. What could have caused this?
When Lenegis changed shape, it must have had an effect on the interior too.
Maybe when they sent the wedge down to Dana?
But they wouldn't move around the places where people live. These are their homes, right?
I would think the citizens themselves didn't have much say in the matter. Either way, locating the Forbidden Zone just became that much trickier.
Dohalim? Is that you?
Oh my gosh, he has friends.
Avakir, I'm glad to see you're well.
And he has...
So it is you! But why are you here? Shouldn't you be down on Dana participating in the crown contest?
He has a
And
bit
these
more of a
people-
design.
So
he
you
could
haven't
be,
heard what
he could be
happened on
actually
Dana, then?
important.
Heard what?
Someone you know?
An old friend.
Hey, Dohalim, don't tell me you've started keeping company with...
They're with me. More importantly, what's happened here?
I'm really not sure. The city's foundations began to shift without warning, and now everything looks like this. We're all waiting for the Sovereign to tell us what's happening, but so far...
Avakir, listen to me. We're looking for the Forbidden Zone. Do you have any idea where we might find it?
The Forbidden Zone? What business could you possibly have there?
Don't question
Trust
me.
me.
I
The less you know,
participate in the
the
crown
better.
contest.
You're just the same as ever.
The same as ever. What do
I
you
wish I
mean?
could help, but what with the changed topography, I can barely locate my own home. Let alone the Forbidden Zone.
Very well. It looks like we'll have to find the way there ourselves.
Have you seen Faria yet?
Ooh. Ooh.
No.
Is this your
I see.
fiance?
Well, nothing much has changed with her. If anything, she's probably even more...
What?
I can well imagine.
Why did you come
Is it
back?
your mom? Is it your mom? Does she have
You
dementia?
know it can only result in pain for you both.
I've no doubt of that.
You really are
He
the
just
same as
arrived,
ever.
dude.
Fine, I understand. Just don't say I didn't warn you. And take care of yourself. Okay, Doe?
Oh dang, he has a cute nickname for you. Oh my gosh. What's happening there? He doesn't call you Dohalim, he calls you Doe. I don't know if that's... I don't know if
So who's
that's really
Faria?
good at nickname, but...
Law?
If what Avakir said is true, it would seem the people of Lenegis are being kept in the dark about what's happening down on Dana.
They seem to be just as clueless about what's going on up here in their own world. Despite the fact that it's actually here that the wedge originally came from.
We need more information. Let's talk to the citizens, see what we can find out.
While we're at it, we can ask them about the Red Woman, too.
And don't forget about finding the way to the Forbidden Zone either.
Let's leave the talking to Shion. We can't have a bunch of Danins poking their noses around.
Good
Yeah.
idea. I think that's for the best.
I shall assist.
You sure?
Being a lord on Lenegis has its advantages.
Right. Then we'll leave it to you two.
Yeah.
The Danins among us.
Here,
Should
I'm
probably
disguising.
keep our heads down.
What if people freak out?
I shall explain it away by saying I'm leading you.
What are we, dogs?
Yes. Where's dogs? Fancy parfait.
Everything will be okay now.
I know the basics of healing arts, but my skills pale in comparison.
Your lordship. Oh, what a great honor it is to finally meet you.
Yes, bow to me. Bow!
I descended to Dana during the last crown contest also. Alas, when the contender I was backing failed to clinch the title, I returned.
Aw, man.
I witnessed the deaths of so many slaves.
Indeed.
Sorry to interrupt, but we're looking for a woman dressed all in red. Have you seen anyone of that description?
All red, eh? No, I can't say I remember anyone like that. I imagine she'd stand out somewhat, too.
She sure would.
Yeah. What about down on Dana during the crown contest? You didn't see anyone like that hanging around the lord you were serving?
What's with all these questions? I've never seen her, okay? Not recently or otherwise. Why do you want to find her anyway?
That's not important.
Never mind.
Just tell
Forget
me
I
where
asked.
she is.
Sorry to take up your time.
Tell me where she is, or else. Or else! What?
Is everything okay? You look a little lost.
Hmm? Oh, yes. I can't seem to find my way home, is all. I was just about to make my umpteenth attempt at a new route.
Oh, man.
I was hoping to head this way myself. Situation is a real pain, huh?
I suppose the Sovereign knows best.
Why would you think that?
I daren't stay here too long,
I would
though.
still be
A
mad.
lower caste can only linger around these parts for so long before I outstay my welcome. I was hoping to avoid it, but maybe I'll have to go that way after all.
You mean you know another way round?
Lord Dohalim Ilkaris! But how? Last I heard, you were in Dana competing in the crown contest.
Yes, bow
Yes,
to me.
strange, isn't it? If you know another route, we'd be grateful if you could tell us.
But of course. Please forgive me. There's a wall that sprung up ahead of here, with what looks to be an entrance in it. I thought maybe it was a passageway between the different quarters, but I've no way of knowing for sure.
Well, get in there.
It's worth investigating, at least.
You can be like our
I shall go and
experiment. You
assess
can
the
run in
situation.
there.
In the
We'll
meantime,
see if
wait
you
for me
die.
here. If it looks safe, I'll come and
I
let
love
you
how
know.
he's saying the opposite of what I was saying.
You'd really do that for me? A lord troubling himself for someone of my lowly status?
Our lot in life is of little consequence. We are both Renan, first and foremost.
Oh,
Blasphemy.
why yes, my lord. Thank you.
Why, yes.
What could be so important? It's worth destroying people's livelihoods and homes in the process. It's just unbelievable. Uprooting an entire city as if it were mere building blocks. Someone's got an awful lot of questions to answer.
From how it looks, they must be siphoning off astral energy from Dana, and then sending it to Rena.
But why do all this? What for? Surely they can't be using all that energy for the crown contest.
Whatever their purpose, disrupting their siphoning process alone won't be sufficient. Not while we still don't know what their endgame is.
He's right. We need to stop this from happening ever again.
This Forbidden Zone might be where we find some answers, right? So what are we waiting for? Let's get moving!
You heard it.
Yeah.
We don't have time to stop and chat. Let's move.
Yeah, let's go. Where's this other star? Wait, I can quick travel there? No, it's just me asking more questions. Let's see. Let's go. Whoosh. My hair. Hair that long is crazy. Do people in real life ever have hair that long? If she undid that from her ponytail, it would be like way down there, like to her shins or something. That's crazy.
Oh dear me, what
Oh,
an unspeakable
my.
mess this has all become. Just look at the state of our city. Even the Zeugles have stopped heeding our commands.
Weird.
Whatever did we do to deserve this?
You really have no clue what might have caused this?
Would that I have. Alas, there was no warning, no prior decree. His Highness must have deemed it unnecessary for us to know. We have no choice but to grin and bear it. But do my eyes deceive me? Could I really be standing in the presence of his lordship, Dohalim of the House Ilkaris?
Oh my goodness.
I believed he was on Dana.
Yeah, he is. I'm just an imposter.
Your
I'm
eyes do not deceive
cosplaying.
you. It is I, one and the same. I have returned to fulfill a special duty, the details of which I cannot divulge.
As your lordship wishes. First, Lenegis mutates beyond recognition. Now, this unexpected visit. The Sovereign's plans are inscrutable indeed.
They're talking like
The
a sovereign is
Ilkaris
God.
house
It's so
has
weird.
produced a great many lords over the centuries. I shall be praying for your victory in the latest crown contest.
Your good wishes do me an honor.
Well, we've canvassed the city for information. What do you think?
No one has the faintest idea what's happened to the city after all. They haven't heard the news about the crown contest either.
You'd think that info would easily find its way up here. Has it always been like that?
Not to this extent. Which would indicate that something's suppressing the truth. That Lenegis is under some kind of control.
Given everything that's happened to their city, the people here seem weirdly okay with it all.
I know, right?
Yeah. That one guy even said his Zeugle had stopped listening to him. If that's true, these people are in big trouble.
I can't find my way
Everything that
home, but
happens
that's
here is
okay.
attributed to the Sovereign's will. It's the way people have been conditioned. Their belief runs deep. Nothing happens devoid of a reason. To them, it's all part of the Sovereign's grand plan.
The Sovereign's plan. There is one thing I'm still not sure about. Just who is this person ruling over Lenegis?
Good question.
The Sovereign, of course.
But like,
He
who is
rules
the
from
sovereign?
Rena while presiding over both Rena and Lenegis.
Without the lords or anyone in the middle doing his dirty work? Isn't Rena at least the same size as Dana? That's a pretty big dominion for one person to rule over. I would have thought ruling Lenegis alone would be difficult enough.
The points you make are valid, though I confess I'd never given it much thought before. Here, the Sovereign's total authority is as natural as night turning to day. Come to think of it, I know nothing of the nature of how Rena itself is. Shion, have you ever been... No, forgive me. Have you met or crossed paths with, or even heard of someone who's actually made a visit to the homeland?
No, I haven't.
Neither
That's
have I.
weird.
In which case, I would imagine that... But no, surely not. Can it really be that no citizen of Lenegis has ever been there?
The propaganda.
Hold up. What are you getting at, Tohalim?
Assuming what I
The
believe to
government
be
is
correct,
such an expert
it's
at spreading
possible that no one on
propaganda.
Lenegis has ever laid eyes on the actual Renan homeworld itself.
What if Rena doesn't
No
exist?
one but the Sovereign, that is.
But what about trade and communication? There's got to be a flow back and forth, surely.
Nah.
Not if the Sovereign is imposing his will on Lenegis single-handedly. It could be a one-way street.
But I thought you said that the Sovereign's all the way over on Rena. If that's the case, can he really rule directly over Lenegis from so far away? What if something were to happen to the city, like now?
Then, you know,
I'm
we just
beginning
deal
to
with
wonder
it.
what the nature of this sovereign even is. Alphen said he was forced into the role, right? Just before the ceremony. But sovereign is also the title given to the almighty Renan ruler. So which one is it?
Whoever wins the crown contest inherits the throne from his or her predecessor, before becoming ruler over all of Rena and Lenegis. Thereafter, that individual is known as the Sovereign. Though, it would appear that the current ruler has gone silent. As for how Volron factors into all this, at this point, I no longer know what to believe.
3 centuries ago, I became the Sovereign here on Lenegis. No, not just became, I was forced to.
Me.
Me,
A
a
Danon.
Danon. 300 years later, we crossed paths with Volron, who also bears the Sovereign's crest. That's not the only
Yeah,
thing
what
we
is
have in
going
common.
on?
We both became Sovereign without winning the crown contest.
This whole
Do you
thing's
think
a scam.
Volron was made sovereign for the same reason? Because of that ceremony?
I can't say for sure, but it certainly sounds like it.
But that would mean that 2 sovereigns would need to exist at any one time. One whose job it is to rule, and the other for ceremonial purposes. We never did see Volron's body back in Ganath Haros. Is a new ceremony underway with Volron at its center this time? Could that be what's causing all this strange activity here?
It could be.
Wait a second. You don't think Volron and the Red Woman are working together, do you? The ceremony can't go forward without the Renis Alma. The same one that the Red Woman stole.
There's something else the ceremony needs. A maiden. And unless there's another one out there aside from me...
Questions, questions, and yet more questions. Ones that it seems will remain unanswered, until we can establish the Sovereign's identity.
If the Forbidden Zone really is off limits to everyone but the Sovereign, that seems as good a place as any to start. For the sake of liberating Dana, too.
Then it's decided. That's where we need to go.
One of the citizens mentioned a passage that she thought might lead to another section of the city. It could point us in the right direction. Let's go find it.
Oh man. That took a while. What the heck? You have nothing to fear. Blah 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 blah. Anyway. Imagine having hair to school.
With nobody left to run the show, I wonder what the people here are supposed to do. I mean, there's sovereigns up on the Renan homeworld, and all their lords were sent to Dana.
But Dohalim was a lord, right?
Only current acting lords have power. Renan society is quite strict about such matters.
Even if the other lords were still around, I doubt they'd be able to do much about the situation.
Yeah. Have fun. Have a good rest. I love Shion's hair too. It looks so pretty. If only I could have a hair as nice as all those anime girls. But see you next time.
I
Thank you
wonder
for
what they'd
joining
think
me.
if they were here to see Lenegus now.
It was fun while it lasted.
Balsif, Cannabelt, Almadria, and Volron. Now that I think of it, aside from Dohalim, we know next to nothing about the other lords.
Well, yeah, why would we? To us Danans, they were just enemies we needed to overthrow. Nothing more.
I know. But seeing Renans in their own city, going about their day-to-day lives, it gets you thinking.
It feels strange to imagine the lords living here too, you mean?
Oh, thank you. Take care. Bye.
Yeah, a little.
If you're that curious about them, why not try inquiring with some of the locals? Every lord in their household has their share of supporters here on Lenegus. And luckily for us, the people here are unaware of the events on Dana, which means they should be more inclined to talk to us.
Hello. You want to know which lord I support? Why? Are you out canvassing for someone? I'm with His Excellency Arwolsi Teldilis. You probably know him better as Lord Balsam. I know a lot of people consider him to be a giant brute. Believe me, I realize he can be an aggressive man. But what those people don't realize is how much he looks after the members of his house. It's fair to say that House Teldilis doesn't enjoy much esteem. Those of us who serve it will be the first to admit that. But His Excellency always stands up against any who would mean us harm. Of that we can be sure. His efforts in the crown contest aren't only for his family, but to improve the standing of each and every member of his house.
Yes!
I have so much to His Excellency, I could never dream of serving any other lord.
Balsef had it in him to care about someone other than himself? Really?
It's possible.
She's
A
a
change in
red and
position
she's
can do
saying
much
that.
to alter one's perspective.
So even he might have had something he wanted to protect.
Lord Dohalim, you have returned! Ah, and I see you've brought aids with you. Do you remember who I am, my lord? Surely you must, yes? Not only do I support House Ilquaris, but more specifically his lordship personally. So much so, I've been trying to share my appreciation of his lordship to any who will listen. In fact, I was planning to publish my very extensive writings on the subject through this very terminal for all to read and enjoy. But since the lines appear to be cut due to the recent tumult, I've been unable to upload them. Darn it! I know, since you're all here, I'll just read them out loud. Ahem. There exists a most handsome man, a man who radiates beauty, whose every word, every syllable is divine poetry. He hails from the famed House Ilquaris, and his name, Lord Dohalim. Music is his passion, the arts his great love. The scores of boorish, uncouth men of this land cannot begin to compare to his magnificence. So refined and majestic is his posture, why, the mere thought of it brings me to ecstasy. Once he becomes our sovereign, Rena shall bloom anew, ushering in an era of prosperity for our grand civilization. Blah blah blah. Huff huff. Well, what did you think, my lord? I poured my whole soul into it, hoping to capture your essence. Wait! I forgot to mention anything about his lordship's love for collecting things. I must take this time to append it. Only then will my masterpiece be complete. Wouldn't want to forget that.
I guess she intended to spread it throughout all of Lenegus then.
Good thing the lines were down so she couldn't.
It almost sounded like she was praising them too.
Maybe there was more to the guy than at first glance.
I shall refrain from commenting.
Well, I never. To think anyone would try to tear me away from House Valkyries.
What?
What do you want? Don't tell me you work for Lord Dohalim or that dreadful Lord Almadria, do you? You don't? Well, don't scare me like that. To answer your question, I come from a family that sword House of Valkyries for generations. Indeed, I'm doing all I can to support Lord Ganabelt behind the scenes so that he might emerge victorious. Many think him to be a cruel man, but I insist they're utterly mistaken. Too bad he's dead, haha. Though I won't deny he can be strict, he puts Ren's interests front and center like no one else. Why, he advocates that rather than stay confined to Lendigus, we should get on with colonizing Dana and expand our horizons. That way we'll become masters of both worlds, and overturn our current minority status on Dana's surface. That is why he seeks to become our next sovereign. Tell me, is there a greater, more noble ambition than that? I think not. It is a pursuit of power for the advancement of all our kind. It is what makes him an exemplary lord, a model above all others. Though I was unable to accompany him myself, my 2 sons have been blessed with the honor of joining him on the surface. As their father, it fills me with endless pride.
Ganabelt was so horrible to people. Yet he was invested in helping Rena succeed. Doesn't that seem just a little inconsistent?
I'm perhaps biased in this matter, I admit. However, in my mind, while all lords vie to become the next sovereign, they're also meant to serve as guardians of all of Rena.
It seems like Ganabelt also had people he cared about until the very end.
So why couldn't he extend that to us Danans?
I didn't realize Renans oppressed their own kind, too.
And yet, weirdly, none of them seem to mind. Am I the only one who finds that strange?
It is the way things have always been, so no one thinks to question it. You have experience in that regard yourself, do you not?
Unquestioning acceptance of your own servitude. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Even so, the quality of life here seems much higher than any Danon city we visited. I used to think it was impossible to build an ideal society without wealth. But I suppose having it doesn't always mean people are treated fairly either.
More to the point, not a single citizen seems to have even heard of the Red Woman.
What if she's not here? What if it turns out we're looking in the wrong place entirely?
It's still too early to say anything for sure.
For all we know, she might be able to blend in, move around unnoticed. I say we hold off judgment until we've exhausted every avenue.
This area doesn't look as badly damaged as that other district we went through.
Indeed.
Pardon me.
This area falls under the sole jurisdiction of House Cainarius. I must ask you to depart at once. Surely you don't claim to be ignorant of our famed house ruled over by the esteemed Lord Almadria. If so, I urge you to listen now. In fact, I bid you listen carefully regardless. Have you ever noticed how in the history of Lennigus only a few women lords have emerged to compete in the crown contest? Many have theories as to why this might be, but Lord Almadria quashed the doubts of any naysayers through sheer might. In fact, not only did she usurp her father and previous family master, she also removed her older brother to claim the seat for herself. She is a woman who stops at nothing to get what she wants, who gives her enemies nary the slightest opening to strike. Truly, Lord Almadria is a woman of talent. No one in all Rena better exemplifies the virtues of our nation's meritocracy. Soon the age of a glorious woman sovereign reigning over Lennigus shall be upon us at last.
I guess her willingness to stoop to any low came from a survival of the fittest worldview.
And some people here not only shared her belief, but championed it as morally right, too.
That doesn't make it true. Too bad they couldn't see through her.
Yeah.
Oops. I need the wolf tail. The dog tail. Wait, I have wolf ears though. Shoot. I have wolf ears. But I don't have a wolf tail. If I just do a dog tail, I think that works. Wait. I don't know, I think blue suits are better.
Ridiculous.
Huh. How loathsome. Oh, I was just reading about Volran. Could I help you?
Okay.
I was always an ardent supporter of Lord Urwagil Hildress myself. Were it not for his sudden death down on the surface, I likely still would be. Who is that? In my eyes, Lord Urwagil is the true Water Lord. So the Water Lord. I don't believe for a second he perished in some accident like they say. As for how Volran runs Ganatheros, don't get me started. I hear he enslaves not only Danans, but even his fellow Renans. We may live in a society where to the victor goes the spoils, but his actions go against what we as a people stand for. Besides, just what sort of family line is this house Ignissary of his anyway? I'd never heard of it until he came along, which means they must be among the lowest dregs of society. That such an ignoble lineage could suddenly produce an astral artist capable of ascending to lordship is unheard of. None of it makes any sense, not to mention all the upheaval around here as of late. What is happening to our people?
It seems like the people on Lenegis don't really know much about Volran either.
I remember being quite surprised when the Lord of Ganatheros changed so abruptly.
Why can't I move
Didn't
my-
you have any doubts that something suspicious was going on?
On the contrary, remember, we Renans are raised to accept everything at face value.
When you think about it, the families of Renan lords must see them differently than the rest of us.
Yeah, despite the brutality they're known for.
They must have had a lot on their shoulders, carrying all the weight and responsibilities of Renan society.
Renans live in a world where strength and power determine their position in the social hierarchy, so they tend to grow up fiercely competitive. But their loyalty to their people is also strong. It's what brings them together against outside forces, and nothing exemplifies that more than the Lords.
That's what makes them the guardians of all of Rena, so to speak.
Right. It's the same reason Balsif hated my guts, and Ganabelt went after you. Because we're threats to Rena.
Guess that makes you an even bigger oddball than we thought.
So, Alphen, have you gained anything from all of this?
Yeah. I think it's made me realize that the Lords were all people, too. Balsif and the others, they all had their own circumstances to deal with as they went through life.
Yeah, but still, just because they had loved ones in their lives doesn't mean...
I know. What they did was horrible. I'm not trying to dispute that. But at the same time, they weren't incomprehensible monsters either. They were individuals, just like the rest of us.
Society
So I
made
guess
them this way.
what I'm trying to say is...
Society.
You're saying that they weren't bad because they were Renans, or because they were terrible monsters.
They were
Even
kind
if
of
they
raised
did
to be
terrible
that way.
things, they were still just people.
Exactly.
Rinwell.
You understand.
Am I wrong?
Not at all.
Oh, I
Being
should
a
blush.
Danon doesn't make you a good person. And being a Renan doesn't make you a bad one. I think that's something we've all seen.
Shion and Dohalim definitely make a good case for it.
And I'm going to keep doing my best to make sure I earn that trust. As a fellow human being above all else.
Yes, money. Oops, that was not what I meant to press.
There's something I just don't get.
Yeah.
What is it?
The crown contest itself has always gone ahead as planned, right? In which case, the current sovereign of Rena should be whoever it was that won the previous contest.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, who was it then?
Hanfricht Milgras, the former lord of Cislodia, if memory serves.
So then this Hanfricht whatchamacallem, he's the current ruler of Rena?
The last I heard, yes. Though, admittedly, I haven't actually seen him since the end of the previous
I
contest.
feel like whoever wins probably just gets
You're saying that
killed
ever since
or
becoming
something.
sovereign, he's never actually shown himself on Lenegis?
They're
I
probably
guess
like
over
something
Holocron
bad probably
maybe,
happens.
but not in the flesh. Same thing goes for the Sovereign that came before him.
Now that you mention it, I don't recall anyone ever visiting Lenegis from the motherland, sovereign or otherwise.
And that never struck you as a little bit odd?
When you live here, it's as if you're conditioned not to notice all these strange quirks and discrepancies. The question is then, by whom? And to what end?
A new Renis Alma is supposedly created to coincide with every crown contest, meaning each victor is awarded their very own. In other words, if that's true, there should be as many of the things out there as there have been contests.
True, but going on what we witnessed in Pelagian, it didn't look like the sort of thing that could be made to order. But if even the victor's speeches have been part of some grand deception, then where are they? Quite frankly, I'm not even sure what to believe anymore.
You and me both. Though we are Renin by blood, neither of us even knew that such a thing as a Dark Master Core existed, remember?
Yeah.
With any luck, the Forbidden Zone might give us some answers.
No use standing around here chatting about it then. Let's get a move on.
Oh my gosh. It's like a cutscene every 5 seconds. Doe.
Faria.
Varia? Isn't that the person that Avakir guy was...
But why are you here? Wait. Don't tell me you've given up on the crown contest and come crawling back home from Dana already.
He's so tall compared to her.
Nothing to say? Even though you were willing to kill Tarnigan to secure your position as Lord, you still...
Kill?
I'm here to take care of something. If you wish to continue this conversation, I only ask that you wait until I'm finished.
Oh, of course. You always did prefer to take
Wow.
the coward's way out. Even after 7 years and living on that Danon rock, you haven't changed one bit.
Is this your mom? She's so
But let
mean.
me tell you, I haven't changed either. Not a day's gone by the past 7 years that I haven't hated you.
Oh my goodness.
If killing me will bring you peace, then so be it.
Wow.
What the hell are you saying?
First, I have business to take care of. If it's vengeance you seek, I will grant you it.
Oh
you
wait,
must wait.
no. She
My
was
sins are
dating the
legion.
guy that he killed.
Let me finish
wasn't
what I
she?
came to do. Then you have my word. I will let you do whatever brings you peace.
I feel like he mentioned something like that before.
Sure, that's it. Run away like always. You don't even have the courage to die. No wonder you leave it to someone else.
Wow.
You're just a coward!
Oh, what? What the heck? What is this, some kind of horror game?
Dohalim.
I apologize that you had to witness that.
Is it true? What she said about you killing someone?
Each of us have our pasts. I am no exception.
Before, back in Menancia, you mentioned having taken a friend's life over the throne. Is that what she meant?
The mistakes I made there were not my first, and may not be my last. I will say no more.
Did you mean what you said? About letting her take your life if she wanted to?
She has more right to my life than anyone.
But you can't just...
Whatever happens, I have sworn to put an end to the crown contest, and to ensure continued coexistence in Menancia. I have no intention of expiring before I do so. There are far too many questions I still seek answers to. Besides, you have just as much reason to kill me as she does.
What?
Dohalim!
Forgive me. Some things are best left unsaid.
Aw, Dohalim. Man, you're worse than Shion. Dohalim. I knew you probably felt this way, but I was hoping that was wrong. It's a treasure chest. That's not a treasure chest. Whatever. Yo, I'm more power. Oh, no, I can't heal her? Okay. Orange gel? Orange gel? No.
What could this be?
Tofu? I was supposed to be fighting Tofu? Oh, is that the white and fluffy thing? Shoot. No, it's not. What was the tofu for then? What was the tofu for? Why did it say what I have to do?
Wow, this place is beautiful.
Yeah, it must be some sort of rest and leisure area for the locals.
You think? Man, these Renan sure know how to live it up, don't they?
Is something the matter, Dohalim?
Before I went down to Dana, my friends and I, we used to gather at this very spot and play music together.
Aww.
Avakir, Faria, and Tarnigan. That was a lifetime ago now.
Tarnigan. He was the one that Faria mentioned, right?
He was once my dearest, closest friend. As well as Faria's betrothed. Despite Faria's lower-class upbringing, she possesses a tremendous talent for music. Entranced by her playing, I helped her overcome her sense of inferiority and introduced her to Tarnigan and Avakir. It was a time of great joy. 4 people bound only by their love of music, with no care for social standing. Only the next song, the next melody.
Aww. Your friends' designs are so basic.
A friendship based on mutual respect, and a society where everyone is a prisoner to their social class. You really are different, Dohalim.
I suppose it's natural you would see it as strange.
I would have, once. Now, I think the idea of breaking away from society's constraints and choosing your friends based solely on affection is something beautiful that's worth cherishing. Besides, it was that way of looking at the world that laid the foundations for coexistence in Menancia.
True.
Your praise does me too great an honor. I was merely following the wishes of my own heart.
But those were good wishes.
And even then, it only lasted until the crown contest began. After that, Tarnigan and I became fierce competitors for the position of Lord. Tarnigan had fallen for Faria. By becoming Lord, he aimed to wrest her from her humble origins and raise her to the highest echelons of society. But fate was not so benevolent.
What happened?
Tarnigan was no match for me in combat. On a level playing field, he wouldn't have stood a chance. But he was desperate and low on options, and he couldn't stand the thought of defeat.
You mean he resorted to dirty tactics to try to win, right? But then why does Faria think... Wait, don't tell me she doesn't know.
How could I tell her? Combined with the trauma of losing her beloved, and by her friend's hand, no less, she would have been devastated.
So instead you let her go on hating you, so she could use that hate as a crutch for her grief?
That's not the same as running away, though.
It is exactly the same. Unable to face the loss of my friend and the burden of my duty. Instead, I decried my fate and looked away from what I'd done. As for what happened after, that you already know.
But If you hadn't become Lord, Menancia wouldn't be what it is now. The Danans there would still be suffering under Renan oppression like before.
Shion's right. What other lord would have treated me as you did? Anyone else and I would have been dead long ago. You've saved so many people, Dohalim. You saved me. It's thanks to you that I'm here today. So, try not to blame yourself. The burden you've placed on your own shoulders is too much for anyone to bear.
Frank as always. But I shall do my best to heed your advice.
Do you think he'll be all right?
Yeah, I think so. He's got Kisara.
It's important to have someone like that.
I didn't realize how difficult it is just to be there for someone.
Sometimes just knowing someone's on your side can be enough. And he knows, Shion. I promise he does.
I hope you're right.
He still probably blames himself, though. Oh, hi.
Alphen,
Yeah?
I never appreciated until recently just how much you were always there to support me.
It goes both ways. You've helped me keep going more times than I can count.
Maybe, but I still wanted to say thank you.
I see a medic and supply officer over there. If they know you're with...
There we go. Shoot.
me. They'll likely offer their assistance.
Yeah, I'll just do it.
Hey, look! We've got
way more animals. Yeah. Usually I can
Way
kind of
more
see the
animals.
difference in progress.
I never imagined Law would have a knack for husbandry.
Makes sense since they're on the same wavelength.
Okay, I feel it.
You're making me blush over here.
Law, maybe you should consider what that statement actually means.
No hidden items. Doesn't look like it.
Damn it. Lenegis soldiers.
Any way we can avoid fighting them?
That all depends on them. Whatever happens, be ready.
Oh shoot. Okay, I was gonna
Well,
save.
so much for them not wanting to fight.
I am Lord Dohalim of Elden Menancia. I command you.
Threats to the city must be erased.
No. Have they been brainwashed too?
Brainwashed or not, if they want to fight, they got one.
Can't get out of bed.
Be my guest.
Armor won't save you!
My shield?
That's my cue.
Shut him down.
I'll finish you here and now!
This ends
Burn in hell!
Shoot. Ow, ow, ow.
Coming through! Ha! Melt! Scarlet Inferno! Eat this! I'll work you down! Be still! Eat this!
Never miss! Do it! Attack! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Smash you!
Alright, okay, I'm gonna hit him.
In a bind?
Not today!
It's weakened! Astral energy! Full throttle!
Yeah.
Here I come!
Light astral energy!
Demon Fang! I owe you one.
Those soldiers seem different from the citizens we've come across so far.
Yeah, they weren't big talkers, that's for sure. They just attacked without warning.
They weren't in the least bit fazed by Dohalim's presence either.
Indeed. They seem to recognize us as enemies, nothing more. And yet, traditionally, Lenegis hasn't been high on threats. A few frenzied Zeugles during experiments here and there, but not much else.
Their glazed-over eyes reminded me of the soldiers and slaves we met back in Ganath Haros. The ones in blind devotion to Volron.
I've never seen anything like that here on Lenegis before.
Maybe someone doesn't want us here, and the soldiers are their way of letting us know.
What with the Red Woman, the Sovereign, and Volron, we're starting to develop quite the growing list of adversaries. At least we'll know to keep our wits about us.
What's over here? Oh my, this is like a whole maze. Ooh, grape gel. I can hear monsters. Ah! Okay, I'm really tired, so I'm gonna stop here, and you'll see me... I don't know. I might not stream tomorrow, because I'm really tired, and I kind of want to do other stuff. But we'll find out. If not, I might just, like, upload some of the videos to YouTube, some of the VODs. But anyway, I'll see you next time! Thank you everyone for coming to watch. It was really fun, and next time we'll find out what the Red Woman's up to, maybe, because we saw her in a cutscene. I guess we're headed in the right direction. We might see her more soon. Goodbye!